Not Sky Talk, we are live. Welcome back to the channel. Another Pavis perspective. It's a Thursday night, 7:30, our usual slot. Really excited for this one. I said at the end of last week's show, if we could get back here next Thursday with maybe 4 points, it'd be good. We've got 6 points, 2 home games, 2 fantastic results. Got Jordan with me tonight. Jordan, how are we, mate?
I'm good, mate. Got a nice cup of tea, Yorkshire tea, and Notts County. You can't go wrong. 2 best things in life, really.
Notts County's #1 fan on there. I love that. Love that. As always, we are powered by Better Bytes Computers. Use the code Pavis Perspective. Get discounts off refurbished computers and computer repairs. Fantastic Notts run business in Mapley, Nottingham. So go in there, say hello to Kev, check him out, and he'll do you some good discounts as well. So yeah, we couldn't do our show without him. Plenty of you regular viewers, a few newer viewers here today. I can see in the chat as well. So please do subscribe if you're not already. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers, which we're aiming to by the end of the season. 19 games left, just over 200 away. So I can see Adam has put in the chat that he's subscribed on his second account. So massively appreciate that. So anyone new, do that. Charlie says new setting, not a new setting, same room, but I've been paneling. Put a dartboard up, little Notts County Talk thing above it. Love it. Jordan's painted me a little Medellin picture here. But yeah, people saying to me, never got any Notts related things. There we go. Right, let's chat Fleetwood. We're going to get Ben on. Ben's been on plenty of times. So let's see what we're up against on Saturday. Ben had a couple of issues with his connection, but we'll try and get him on, see if it's working. And if not, it looks like he's dropped out. We know he's always welcome on the channel, so we'll see. Let's see who we've got with us then before we get chatting, Joe. We've got Milkman Hero here every week. Liberty, Callum, 2 Callums on 2 different accounts. Royston, Ian, let's try again with Ben, and then I'll give some more shout-outs. Ben, how are we, mate?
I'm very well, mate. Thank you for having me on. I think I've had a few internet connections, so I do apologise.
No worries, mate. And if you drop out, do not worry about it. So we'll get you to chat about Fleetwood pretty quickly because you're very busy. You joined us on this Thursday night. What's going on? You got rid of your manager, and I'm going to be honest. Is that the right decision? I don't know.
No, absolutely not. People look at Fleetwood and think 15th in the table and think, yeah, squad is a decent one. With everyone fit, the squad is a decent one. With Ryan Graydon at the football club, who went to Salford for big money, a move the football club couldn't turn down. Move the player couldn't turn down either. I get why the deal happened. With a fully fit squad, with everyone available at the start of the year, Fleetwood, in my opinion, between 10th and 12th. If they'd have finished there, progress, and have a little bit of a flirt with the playoffs. If they got over 65 points, again, progress, because you're starting to pick up a few more. I think we got 60 points last year, so it's a bit more of an intent. The home form was getting better. Ultimately, what's happened is Denver Hume, star signing in the summer, got injured. Finley Potter, one of the best left-side centre-halves in the division, in my opinion. Most progressive runs for, most progressive pass in the division as well, out injured. James Bolton, the heartbeat at the back 5, out injured. Jordan Davis, an experienced player in League 1, League 2 and the National League, with Wrexham, especially in Grimsby last year, out injured. Graydon's been sold. James Norwood out injured. Ronan Coughlin's out injured. Lewis McCann is out injured. Your spine of your team is out. And ultimately, the rest of it is young players that aren't up to the level to the ones that are injured. So we've lost 4 of the last 5 in the league, all by 1 goal. I think 3 of them are away. We lost 2 cup games to Doncaster and Port Vale, who finished in the top 2 last year. Bradford obviously were 3rd in the league. Runners up to them and got them promoted. So I just thought it was a bit of a bump in the road, if I'm honest with you. I thought eventually things will turn. Ultimately, he didn't get time, and I think the football club didn't really want to give him time because Harrogate was the game on Tuesday night and an ideal turning point. And if he won that, you can't really shoehorn him out of the football club, can you? So, yeah, I was really disappointed to see that he lost his job because Pete was a top guy, and I actually felt that we were building something, but ultimately, you don't get time to do that in football these days.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking at your recent results, people will look and they might say, like you've just said, oh, they got rid of him and they've got a win, but Harrogate doesn't really count, does it? They haven't won a game since September. So, I've just seen as well going on Twitter, Bromley have just signed Medley from you, and I looked, he's played quite a bit recently. Is that a strange one?
Not really. He got left out of a matchday squad the other day. Left wing back he was playing, which ultimately isn't his position, and that comes from Denver Hume being injured and the football club not signing another left back. And you can't just have one left back for the whole season and make them square pegs round holes with Fleetwood Town Football Club, unfortunately, where he's a body, he can fit there, he's left-footed, and ultimately Zach Medley 6'5", he's a big imposing centre half. And I'd say something for nothing. At Fleetwood he looked poor, he didn't look great at all. At Bromley he'll look a world beater because the way they play, they're big, they're physical, they're strong, they're powerful, they're intimidating, they get in your face and they'll head kick the ball away, play forward if you can. He'll do that really well, Zach Medley, because he's got the attributes. But the way that Fleetwood play just hung him out to dry a little bit. So didn't surprise me. Believe it. Fleetwood are bringing in Reece Bennett to replace him. Reportedly online today, he had a great loan spell at the football club last year. So if that happens, I'll be very, very happy.
Do you think it's a good time to play you or not? Because it's always a tricky one, isn't it, when manager's just gone?
Yeah. Maybe. I think when you're not County, I think that you shouldn't be thinking about when's the best time to play anyone. For me, I think that not an arrogance, but should have that feel to them where it doesn't matter if you've got Pete Wild in charge or not, that they should come and try and win the football game. You know, yes, it's away from home. If they can get a point as a tricky Pete Wild side, I think it's a good result. But now I think that you'll be looking at it and thinking 3 points here. So maybe it's a little bit better of a time to play us, if I'm being honest with you. But ultimately, Fleetwood have got young players out there. The squad is very threadbare. It's youth orientate, which the football club has to be, but ultimately you need a bit of experience, and Fleetwood have not got enough of that, and the ones that they have got are mainly out injured.
Ben, you know how you've said everything there in terms of what's happening with the club and the manager leaving. Where do you now see yourself ending at the end of the season compared to obviously where you thought from the start?
At the start of the year, I think I put Fleetwood 10th, and that was of an idea of we've got a strongish side. We've got, I think we'd still sign a couple of players after this, Mark, but nothing really changed my mind. Not going to get the playoffs ever at any point in the season. I think we'll be strong enough to get that 1.5 points, 1.6 points a game-ish and knock on the door of the playoffs. But I thought at some time we'll go on a run like we have done, but then we'll probably finish at around about 64, 65 points, Mark, where I said before. It has changed, I think, a bit lower now because I don't think we've got the orientation. We haven't really got the organisation, sorry. We haven't really got a structure in place, and we've got too many injuries, ultimately. And I feel at the start of the year we had a kind of a rock. We were stable, and I felt for the first time I thought, we've got a good base here and a good platform. I feel like that rock's kind of just turned into a bit of a pebble, if I'm honest with you. That it's just petered out, unfortunately, and I can't see us challenging for anything other. I think Fleetwood will win now and again. I think out of the 20 games under Matt Law, I think I could see a world where we win 6, we draw 7 and we lose 7, or vice versa, something like that, where if Fleetwood still get the top 12. So I think that is something to aim for. If the conditions are the top 12, that, again, I said at the start of the year, with a managerial change, it'll be even better, especially with the injuries. It'll be a really good season. But at the moment, I'll probably say 15th.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I think I had you around there at the start of the season. A couple more questions before I let you go, Ben. You've seen you've seen every team this season play Fleetwood. I don't know whether you've been at every game, but the league's starting to settle down now. Who's the best team you've seen? Are there any teams up there that you think are in maybe around a false position at the minute?
It's a great question. I've seen every team now. The only game I've missed is Cambridge away. And I watched that game online. Cambridge are a very, very good side. I will say, I think both times I've watched them, you can see a side that are organised and hard to beat, and I think they'll ultimately get in the top 3. I think Salford, when I've seen them, I've not seen them on the good days, but I've watched them elsewhere and they've been excellent. I think Bromley will win the league just personally because ultimately they are the toughest team in the league to play, because no one wants to go to Bromley. Every time you play Bromley, whoever it is, you're thinking you should beat them because of the size they are, but they're just big, they're physical, and they're made for this league. I think Walsall are in a false position. I've only watched them once this year, but I just think that they don't give me anything. I think they're a two-man team. Crew hammered Fleetwood, and I thought that, they were great. But then I thought, well, I think they'd only beaten Fleetwood, Crawley, Accrington, and there was someone else in the first four. I thought, well, yeah, I think they beat Salford on the opening day, but other than that, I don't think they're beating anyone good. And I think you started to see with their home form of late, they drew to the bottom three: Bristol Rovers, Newport, and Harrogate. They're not great. Not so reminding me of a top seven side. They were good in parts. Chesterfield I was really disappointed with, and I've been disappointed with all season. They've never really kicked on. So, and I think the ones at the bottom are, quite frankly, horrific. Bristol Rovers, Newport, and Harrogate, I think, are currently the bottom three or three of the bottom four. They are the worst three sides I've watched, if I'm honest with you. I think the side that I thought was quite good, if I'm honest with you, it was Swindon at the time. I thought they were excellent, and I'm surprised they've gone through a bit of a bump in the road.
Yeah. Oh. Swindon was so poor against us on Tuesday night. So poor. I know they took the lead, but wow. My final question then before I let you go, Ben, really appreciate you joining us, is score prediction for Saturday.
1-1. 1-1. I'm not optimistic about the football club at this moment in time, but Fleetwood often get something when you don't expect. So I think if they get a point out of this, they've got two really tricky home ties, Notts, and they've got Bromley the week later. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult week, but if they can get a couple of points out of it, I'll be very happy. And always great to come on, and thank you for having me on, lads.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Do us a favour against Bromley, please. Someone's got to. They just keep winning. But cheers, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Medley last minute winning, it's going to happen. Thanks for having me, lads.
Oh, cheers, mate. See you in a bit. Bye. Always great to have him on. Always great. Battling through connection issues. Actually, everyone says good guest as well. I think he's like on his break from work as well. That's dedication to.
Yeah, really good guest. Always really insightful with his knowledge of League Two and offers good information around the league. Really.
Always good. There were a few questions posed to Ben, but with his timing and the connection, I didn't want to pose any questions to him that then got cut off. But it's interesting. He says there he thinks Bromley will win the league.
I mean, I don't think I disagree.
The longer it goes on, I don't know. It's looking likely, isn't it? We go there on Valentine's Day.
Maybe they'll deliver on a special day for us.
Yeah. Hi, Jordan. Good to see you Saturday night, DJing at the 30th party. I think you're right, Jordan. Hope you enjoyed your request. Did you request Westlife?
It was for Meg. It wasn't for me. It's for my girlfriend. I actually requested Pitbull. International Love. Can't go wrong with that.
That's a good song. You always play Westlife on the away days, though. Yeah. It's the Westlife and Little Mix playlist you've got going.
Nothing wrong with Little Mix. Little Mix are one of the best girl bands around.
Just saying. So yeah, there you go, Jordan at 30th.
Nice to see the DJ too. It was good party it was.
Adam says first visit to Fleetwood for us Saturday. How's the parking? You can literally park a 2-minute walk away from the ground. I could anyway. It was the same street as the ground, I think, and it was dead when I got there 2 hours before kickoff last season. But yeah, so much has happened. You got the Crew game, which I didn't get to, but I watched. I managed to watch because it was on Sky Sports Plus as well. You were at that game. We'll briefly go over it because we've obviously had victory against Swindon that we'll talk a little bit more about. That Crew game, how was it to watch? Because from watching it on a phone, I couldn't believe the chances we were missing.
Yeah, we had various number of chances. Even in the first half, I think we could have scored 3, and in the second half, we could have scored another 3. The miss from Dennis, I don't understand how he's missed that. I don't know what's gone through his head, but yeah, really, it was a return to Notts County that we had before, and we had a good run. I think I mentioned in the video after the instant reaction that actually some fans, and I wouldn't really begrudge them for thinking it, that we wasn't playing that great recently. Maybe getting some results, but in terms of the performances, it wasn't actually maybe where they were earlier in the season or coming into that patch. And on Saturday, it felt like we was back to a good performance, good Notts County, and what Patterson wants from the team, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he missed. I know he scored a winner, so I can't, we can't bash him. But he missed two really good chances as well on Tuesday to put the game to bed completely, Dennis, didn't he? And I'm telling you now, I've rewatched that loads of times. He's fouled for the last opportunity he has. It's a penalty, I think.
Penalty all day, and I think if you're a striker as well, and you know that's coming in, it's going to put you off massively. So I don't really know if that's an easy one to like hit home, because I think he knows he's going to get clattered. So
yeah, and then when he's on the floor, still can't get up. The ref allowed the goalie to take the goal kick.
But unless Dennis said to the ref he doesn't want treatment, and that's why he played on, I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, but
it seems a bit crazy to say he doesn't want treatment at that point in the game.
If it was a standard goal kick and Dennis was stood in the penalty area, he wouldn't allow him to take it. He'd tell him to get out. So, I'm sure he was on the floor in the 6-yard box. Anyway. You met someone at a 30th. AD says, even though looking solid at the back, Belshaw, what a difference. Keeping age NMDs is going far into League One. Goodswood Minshew in Manchester. Yeah, Manchester Piccadilly. I did see you, AD. That was
spotted all over.
Yeah, that was a very surprising place to see someone that watches the channel. So yeah, good to see you as well. Lots of good comments in here already. Ant says Bromley or Fade won't finish top 3. Squad size will tell. They have lost a good centre back, haven't they? Is it to Lincoln? He's gone.
Yeah, one of their best centre backs. So they'll be relying on Kyle Cameron, although he hasn't looked too bad this season for them. So
yeah, true. Then he's going to come up against Dennis and Jatta. So. If you, and I don't want this to come back to bite me, but if he does start, if we'd have played a side with Kyle Cameron in centre defence and they were coming and playing with a player like Jatta, I would be a bit nervous. So let's hope he does play well. Rosemary says, enjoy the chat, everyone. I'm on the dark side at Forest. Come on, you pies. We've got a good vibe up now. Enjoy Saturday and Tuesday. Really enjoyed Saturday and Tuesday. We've infiltrated Forest. We're literally on in the city ground. In the city ground while they play, I don't know, that team from Hungary. But I'd much rather be going to Fleetwood on Saturday than playing any of those teams. 100%. Jatta dropped his best game for Notts after George said he wouldn't start him. Did you watch the show last week?
I don't actually think I did. I'd hold my hands up. I didn't get to watch it.
Busy though, aren't you? Busy.
I'm a busy lad.
George was saying, we put the team on at the end, George was saying he wouldn't start Jatta, he'd drop him for Dennis.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he put something in the chat as well, didn't he, about starting Dennis?
You can't be doing that. Like Jatta for me, and we'll go on to Swindon now. The more I think about it, we did our review at the end of the game, didn't we? And I gave Jatta a 9, and I thought at the time, am I just still high from the game? The win. He was unreal.
He was great against Crewe as well. I mean, his overall game looked like it was really improved the last 2 games. The Crewe obviously wasn't involved too much in terms of scoring and stuff, but his hold-up play was so good. And Swindon, his hold-up play was good. So when he's like that, when he's on his game and is at that level in terms of his all-round game rather than just scoring and stuff, it contributes massively to the team.
But how many other teams in this division, right, could have 2 players in double figures and consistently only be starting 1? Is there a point where you're there as Matty Dennis and you're thinking to yourself, I've scored a winner here, and I know he's missed chances, and he's thinking I'm still not starting. Or do you think he's happy to be that player that's doing that?
I don't know. I think he's better when he's played more games. So when we started the season, you saw that he didn't look exactly up to speed. I mean, a lot of players aren't at the start of the season, but as soon as he got a run of games, I think it was 5 in a row, he was scoring so many good goals and taking his chances. So I do think he's the kind of player that actually would benefit from playing week in, week out, and he would be better for it, which is a bit frustrating because you can't really do that if Jatta is playing as good as he is. It's difficult to get that going.
And Ian said impact sub. It is an impact sub. Let's have a player like that off the bench. I know we've got Love now as well, who came on and, looked a handful. He when Dennis missed one of his chances, the ball was played into and Love, and he kind of like just bodied someone off the ball and allowed the ball to run through for Robbo, I think it was. Like players like that could be vital, in my opinion. Let's go to the other end of the pitch then. We didn't get the best angle of the Belshaw save. Oh my goodness. I've seen it again.
Yeah. It's unreal. It's got us 3 points instead of 1, hasn't it? So,
but this is what I spoke about. This is what we've all spoken about on the channel multiple times, whether it's on the Pavis perspective, whether it's match reactions, whether it's in a vlog, even a predictions video. I'm not saying this to go back to Roos and sort of have a go at him, right? But I want to say it to make the point of Belshaw. I think we are probably, let's say, a minimum of 4 or 5 points down this season because of not having a great goalkeeper. Having a goalkeeper that's, and I know Roos did win us points. Let's not make any mistake about Bristol Rovers away. Fantastic in that game. There are a couple of other games. But Belshaw, in his third game, has clearly won us points. He's won us points there. So if it's like a sliding scale, we're losing points one way and we're gaining in the other. If we'd have had that at the start of the season, even if it was an extra 2 points, you're in automatic places.
Yeah, I think as long as, we had a keeper that was costing us points, and I don't think Belshaw will cost us points. So I know you said Roos there, obviously did get us some points as well. It kind of nullifies it if he's also costing us points. So you don't want a keeper to be doing that. I think that's the one place where they could be steady, middle of the road, and maybe not even gain you points. But as long as they're not costing you points, you're probably happy. So we've got even more than that now in Belshaw.
Yeah, Adam says it's unlove. It's not spelt unlove. It's thrown me, completely thrown me. I was saying in the blog the other day, I was saying like unlovu, things like that.
You'll get it right eventually, mate. Don't worry.
Unlove. It's for all I know. Adam could be having me on, and it could not be that. Unlove. Okay, I'm going with that. So Belshaw obviously really good. A couple of other players that's got to get a mention in this. Ollie Norburn. I thought he was just so good. And he didn't actually play that many games last season in League One, so he lacked fitness. Could you drop him? Is there anyone you could drop him for?
No.
I would have him. I would have him as a starter. What name is he on the team sheet though? What like the first name on the team sheet? Who is the first name on the team sheet currently for Notts?
Are we counting Belshaw or not? Are we not counting the keeper?
No.
You've got quite a few. Belshaw, Bedu,
Jatta,
Cerula.
Nicky Cerula.
That just goes to show how well the players are playing at the moment. Them players, if we've got so many that could be the first on the team sheet.
Yeah, I think Norburn's at the minute one of the first names on the team sheet, maybe third or fourth choice. Got a question for you, Jordan, that's been posed in the chat. Here you go. Do we need to sign a centre mid? Palmer could be out for a while and Robbo's still not fully fit. Got away with Hall in centre mid on Tuesday. We also finished with Dennis in centre mid. So
I'm not 100% sure because Hall has played a deeper role, I think, for Spurs in the under 21s. Like a lot of his clips that I saw before he signed for us were that kind of not marshalling, but like a Zubimendi type role, if you know what I mean. Like maybe not as physical, but recycling possession, kind of just spraying it to people. And he can probably do that, but obviously if we're playing a physical team, I'm not too sure. But it did allow Norburn and Openda or whoever came on to press more, and then Hall could just sit because I don't think pressing is really Hall's game. So it depends on the game. I don't know if we are short or not, but obviously we've got the 10. Yeah, it's difficult to call. I think if you get someone in, are they going to play? That's the problem.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, and also, you can't be rash and sign someone on a permanent deal that's not quite good enough, because I'm not getting ahead of myself. There's 19 games left, but there's an opportunity for us to go up now. I would be very disappointed. And the poll question is, where do you think we'll finish? I'll be very disappointed if we don't get a playoff place now. And I know it's still quite tight, but I've seen enough from us beating teams around us, beating Swindon, beating Cambridge. I think we're the last team to beat Cambridge, beating MK, to think there's a possibility we go up. What you don't want to do is you don't want to sign someone on a permanent deal that is not good enough for League One if we got there. And that's part of the sustainability thing. Also, who's going to join? Caveat to that, Palmer hamstring, could be 2 months? Could be 3 weeks. Could be 2 months. And Robbo's made of glass sometimes.
Apparently, Pato did say that Palmer played the rest of the Crew game after about 10 minutes of knowing that he'd tweaked something, but didn't realise if it was serious or not. So, and you could see, me and Will even said that Palmer didn't seem quite the same player. Like some passes were misplaced. It wasn't quite like him. So it kind of makes sense now that he was obviously carrying a bit of an injury, but just wanted to stay out there. So that makes you think hopefully it's not too serious, but it seemed like they was unsure of actually what the problem was. So we'll just have to see what comes out of the tests and stuff. But yeah, interesting, because you don't want to get a lone player as well that you don't end up playing and then become disgruntled because he's not playing, and affects kind of the group as well. So a bit difficult, but obviously the new number 10 helps a bit in that sense, because we can move a bit of people around. We can move a Pendo back if we need to into the in front of defence.
We can't finish a game with Hall and Dennis as your centre mids. And I know players are Robbo came on, and my worry is you get outside the transfer window and Robbo breaks down again, and then you've got Norburn, Eel Pender, who I actually like further forward, Tyrese Hall, and I don't know. I think it's a tricky situation. Do you do like a loan of a player that's going to be seriously back up? I'm not saying injured. Remember when we signed Charlie Colker from Crew?
Yeah.
A player that's going to be so far back up, but has a bit of experience in League Two. Someone like that. Someone here says, let's have a quick look. It was saying, do we think that Hall thinks he's too big for League Two and is sort of not putting in the performances? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I think his style of play probably isn't suited to League Two as well as it could be. I think he's someone who likes to be on the ball, have a bit more time, have a bit more space. And League Two is a very physical league, and people will be in your face straight away. I know people probably say that about Premier League or Championship, but I feel like you probably get a bit more pockets of space sometimes, or can show a bit of flair. When he has the time and space to do that, he looks really good, but sometimes he gets pressed so quickly and it looks a bit blasé with the ball, like as if he thinks he's got more time when he hasn't. I'm not too sure. But on the whole, like, have we got enough cover? A point I did want to make is that we saw playing Northern and Openda for 90 minutes for like nearly every game over December, was it? You could see it did affect performances, because towards the end of games, like the last 20 minutes, they're not going to be pressing as much, not going to be able to like work as well. So it did affect games. I think in the MK Dons game, you could tell as well. So yeah, it is important that we address that if we need to, and it's just difficult to know, obviously, without knowing much about Palmer. But I think Hall is I don't think he thinks he's better than League Two, but I just think the way he plays, he thinks he's got all the time in the world sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I did forget that Charlie's put in the chat is, what about Hinchy? You know what? Hinchy could fill in if needed. And then a few people were saying the new Norwegian player was signed. You've been doing some pronunciation training. How's it pronounced?
Harold Tongan.
He could drop into centre mid, yeah. And also, also having Hinchy is like, the player you're loaning is not having a player like Hinchy that's trained with us and knows the system and everything is probably just as good as you're going to get. So I would do that. Someone's made a really good point, and I never thought about this, probably because our wing backs are playing so well. Someone's just said that Bennett has literally dropped, like off the face of the earth. He's just gone. Like,
Yeah, he got taken off. Was it half time at Chesterfield, and then not seen him since?
yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything about an injury. I'm just going to have a look, but like, I thought he looked really good in one of the home games. Was it? It might have been Walsall first half or MK. Yeah,
I know he
so
was getting kicked quite a bit though, so I don't know if he's picked something up and we've just not heard much about it. I'm not sure.
he came on for 20 against Accrington.
Oh, okay.
That's it, but they're not in the squad at all. But I will bring this to the table, which I did say, but I didn't track it back as much as possible. I like Bennett from what I've seen. 2022-23 season, played 15 for Darmstadt, no goals, no assists, according to this. Then he played for Weyhen in Austria, I think, 11 games, no goals, no assists. Klagenfurt last season, 11 games, no goals, no assists. Notts 18, no goals, no assists. So if this is correct, and Gladbach the season before, 4 games, no goals, no assists. He's got 1 goal since the 1920 season, and according to this, no assists.
I don't know if we're being a bit harsh though. Like as a
wing back, I think you need to be. I think as a winger, you need to be getting some of those. You can't be carried.
I do think if he played on the wing like as a winger, he'd probably get some assists and goals. I think we've seen him get in behind and put some balls in and stuff like that. I think he is a danger to teams. Like he causes chaos, I think, when he's on the pitch, and you need that. Like it frees up other avenues to play through, and just causes some issues for defenses. It might mean that he might be in the build up of the play, but isn't like the assister or whatever. I know it seems a bit crazy to not have a goal or assist in at that quite a long time. What you've said there, but I don't think that necessarily means it. Yeah, maybe, but
not available because that seems extraordinary.
Yeah.
But also, how do you get in the team when Nick Cerula and is playing that well? Is Jody back?
He might be back.
He might be back. Like, yeah, someone said here, Paul says he's getting better every game. I know I saw him put some frustrated things on. And we don't know what goes off behind sort of in training and things like that. But when you'd seen Jody in that season under Williams, the first one, you like every single game after that, everyone that came on the channel, who you worried about, every opposite fan, bang, Jody Jones. Next one, Jody Jones. And then it was that game against Gillingham at home, I'm surprised he didn't get injured earlier. He was being battered and the ref was terrible. And then he breaks his, he breaks a bone in his foot and things like that. And it's, but knowing that Jody Jones was there, I think that's where the fans' frustration came from. So, yeah, I get his annoyance at it, but like we just wanted to see Jody Jones back, and then that goal against Crawley. Whoever was fullback for Swindon.
I wanted that goal to go in so bad when it rifled against the bar. That was an unreal strike, and would have done in the world of good as well, because that deserved to be in the back of the net. That really did.
Oh, it was good. I want your opinion because I had George's and we have Will's, and I don't think we've had your full-on opinion on this. I don't want to talk about it too long, but what are your thoughts on he's polarising, but Conor Grant?
I go up and down with Conor Grant, sometimes I think he looks great, and then other times I'm just I said to you, didn't I, when we was doing the player ratings, he just got dispossessed so many times against Swindon. And I do think it is a matter of he's great when he's driving forward or he's got his facing goal. But if he's got his back to goal, I don't think he's very good at that kind of skill set, like in terms of holding the ball or trying to like get others into the game. And he plays quite high, but if we're under pressure and we're not got the ball as much and we're not going forward and driving forward or on the counter, then yeah, it's a bit difficult for him. I just think he could be such a great player if he just had that final decision in him or final like ball that was just so much more consistent.
Yeah, so let's say you're Tongan, the new player we've signed, and you're watching that game. I feel like you've got to be thinking there's a spot for you in this team. Like I think there is. Friday night, about to watch a film at the cinema. I think it was it Friday night? It was Friday night when he signed, wasn't it? No, Monday night when he signed. Monday when he signed. And then you see the little Norwegian flag and a tick. And I'm thinking, who is this? No one has a clue. Back to no leaks from the club. And he signs. My first reaction is, well, Traore came from this division and he's now been loaned off to somewhere in Ireland. Sligo, is it? Shelbourne? One of those. I've watched clips. I'm not getting drawn in, but he looks the real. He looks the real deal.
You are getting drawn in. You are.
He looks good. I know you can. And anyone can look good. Like if I watched the five-a-side compilation of your best bit, you'd look good. Not gonna lie. You'd look good, but he looks good. And we were saying, weren't we? Me, you, Will, and Jake on Tuesday night. Like, look how well we're playing, and Grant's not having a great game. And we were battering. Imagine dropping another player in there that is having a great game. That can pull the strings. I don't know how he's going to be. I think the Norwegian league, from what I've looked at, the only thing I did do is I kept pausing the video, and he had a lot of the time he had 10 yards where no one was near him. And I'm thinking to myself, you're not getting that in this league. You're getting you're getting, who's the guy that MK have just signed? I know he won't play MK. The defender from Derby. Nelson.
Yeah.
Smashing into you within half a second. There's not a lot of time. You see every time Jatta receives the ball, he's not got time. But I think it could be a good one. What are you excited by it? Because it's completely out of the blue.
I am really excited. I know you said how Traore came from that league, but that league's nothing to be laughed at. I think it's underrated, really. You've got teams in there that are playing in Europe, who win games in Europe as well. So he's playing against some really decent sides. And the teams in Europe, I would say they're probably Championship League One level. I think that the brothers have said that before, that they see that league comparable to that kind of level as well. And it does look, I know we said it's only a small amount of clips. You could clip some of mine and it'll look amazing. I mean, it's just obviously a true reflection of my ability, but I think he does look like a player that's technically better than League Two. Like when he's on the ball, the way he kind of runs with the ball, plays with the ball, his agility, his balance, it looks better than League Two. It looks a bit like a less kind of powerful Ruben. I know that sounds a bit crazy to think like that, but I don't know. There is signs there that I think if he's on the ball, you can get him on the ball and you can get him on the ball in space. He is going to unlock teams with that technical ability. And you say that he does have space in a lot of the clips. Maybe that's because he's good at creating the space. Who knows?
I honestly do think from watching it, I got Ruben vibes. I remember I was on holiday when we signed Ruben. And I was waiting to go out. I think it was an afternoon sign or something. And I was just watching the clips and I thought, this guy looks really, really good. And it's the first time I really signed an unknown player from abroad. I'm looking now, right? And now you're talking about the sides in that league. Bodo Glimt beat Man City a few weeks ago. And then last night they won away at Atletico Madrid. And he played a part. I mean, he didn't score or assist. But Tongan played a part in a 2-1 away win at Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, so there you go.
I mean, Bodo Glimt had 29 shots, and their XG was massively higher. But the disparity in that league cannot be that massively different.
No,
it can't be. It can't be.
I think you've got Bran in there as well. I think they're in the Europa, I think they're in Europa League.
Yeah, you've got Rosenborg in there and Mulder, who are obviously good, kind of known names from Scandinavia.
Yeah, I think if you said if Notts County played against those teams, would they win? You'd probably say no. So to sign someone from those teams, it's a team that's in the division with those teams, is quite a big deal. I think it'd be interesting to see if there's anyone else in for him. I think it's a bit of a coup, really. I know that sounds a bit crazy because you don't know much about him, and we signed from Traore, but you're not going to get every signing correct. And I think he's 25, is played at Norwegian under 17 level. I know that's a long time ago and it's really young, but to be identified in your national team at any age is still a good sign that you've got some form of potential at least. So I think it is a really good signing.
I do. I think it'll be interesting. It's just exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking Fleetwood away. Does he play a part in Fleetwood away, do you think? I personally, I don't know, Max. I'd probably say I wouldn't. I'd probably save him for, get him up to speed a bit more. He's not had much pre-season. They have the winter break. Don't think he's played any football since early December. I'd probably save him for a home game against Gillingham if he's going to see any minutes. I don't think Fleetwood away is necessarily the best idea to bring him in.
Yeah, you've got a point there. I don't know if I saw that he has been in a pre-season friendly or not. I wasn't quite sure. I couldn't tell. But yeah, like you said, their leagues are a bit different. It's pre-season technically, but it depends if he's up to speed in terms of fitness. We can't really tell. I do think maybe Fleetwood, like you said, is probably a bit too early. And with Fleetwood having the caretaker manager, I think it's someone's come in and taken charge, and they've just won a game. They might be a bit more up for it and a bit more physical. They're at home with a new manager for the first time. I think there was away against Harrogate, wasn't they? So you never know. They might want to kind of battle a bit more, and maybe we don't want to get out a new signing injured in the first game. So yeah, there's those things to consider. But I think the problem is he could come in and make a difference straight away. So how long do you actually allow him to get up to speed and keep him out when you actually can see if he was in the team, he'd make a difference. So
yeah, I agree. If you've not already, please do vote on the poll. Poll question is, where do you think we'll finish? It's quite heavily weighted, the answers I've seen. Do you think we'll finish top, automatics, playoffs, or miss out on the playoffs? And if you're new here, please do subscribe to the channel. We've mentioned loads of times we're pushing for 5,000 subscribers. I think we're 225 away with 19 games left, so I'll be delighted. It's interesting, Jordan, as we're talking, I cannot tell you sort of the discussion and debate going on around Conor Grant. Like, he's so polarizing. Like, we've all said, and quite a lot of people admit here, we didn't have the best game on Tuesday, but I still think he's a decent player. Like, I like him, and I never look at the team sheet and see Grant starting and think, oh, Grant's starting. Whether that will change with our new sign, I don't know. And when he does play, he does some great things. He actually got a really nice ball through to Jatta on Tuesday night that Jatta raced onto, and they poked it wide. It's the one that almost was an own goal. So, yeah, interesting. There's one more player I want to talk about before we kind of wrap this up, is Enoru. Plays really well against Crawley when he comes on, and then he's not used at all in 2 games. Someone's mentioned in the chat they would like to see him play. I'm not sure whether Swindon wasn't the right game for him. Definitely not. It was a tight, cagey game. Crew the same. A 1 goal. We need to bring him on when we've got a decent sort of cushion of goals, I think, because we don't know what we're going to get from him defensively. Are you disappointed we haven't seen him, or are you kind of like in agreement with that?
I am disappointed we haven't seen him, but not disappointed in the fact of like he hasn't been played by Pato, because if you look at the games we've played and how they've played out, you're right in saying they probably wasn't the right fit for him. I do think when we're away from home, if we need a goal or we're chasing the game a bit, you stick him on, you get him running at defenders. I don't think you necessarily need a cushion, like you said. I think it works in both ways. I think if you need a goal and you need some pace and some kind of like tenacity to go in there, I think it works in that aspect as well. I think you might see him more away from home than you do at home, just for that nature in terms of trying to take the game to a home side. So I think we might see him against Fleetwood play a part. I know Pato mentioned about his fitness, didn't he, when he came on? So maybe he just wants him to get a bit more fit and a bit more stamina in him before he kind of unleashes him. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him actually against Fleetwood at some point.
Yeah, I'm looking at our fixtures. Fleetwood away. Okay, if you can pick something up there, we then play Gillingham. Gillingham was obviously the postponed game. We were in not a great run of form, and they were in a pretty dire run of form as well. They've since won both the games after that postponement, scoring 3 in both of them. Look, they've played Newport and then Harrogate. So,
yeah, I'm still not convinced.
No, I'm not convinced. You're at home to Gillingham, which you're expecting to win. You're then at home to Barrow. If we pick something up from Fleetwood and they can then back that up with some good results at home, you're then going to Bromley. Who knows where we're going to be? Because Bromley have had some favourable fixtures, But Bromley's next fixtures are away to Gillingham, away to Fleetwood, so 2 away games, and then we roll up with the game in hand on them, put more pressure on them. I think the next 3 games, I mean, nothing's given in this league. We've seen that. Harrogate haven't won a game since September, but they came to Medley and got a draw, and we needed a last-minute penalty to get the draw. But you're expecting to beat Gillingham at home, and you're expecting to beat Barrow at home. And in all fairness, like Ben said, as a Fleetwood fan, I said to him, "Oh, is it a good time to play you?" And he's saying, "Not shouldn't be thinking that. You should be thinking, yeah, you're going to get the win." So, yeah, I'm excited by those. I'm excited by those. So let's see what happens. Let's go to the team. This is going to be very short and very sweet. I think there's only one real question about what we kind of go with, in my opinion, and tell me if you think I'm wrong. So I'm going to put this up on the screen. See what people think. So can you see that there, Jordan? You got that up?
I can, yeah. It's quite small for my screen. I think you have a better view than me. But
Robert,
I mean,
split off then. We'll try that again. So that's the side, okay. I believe that's the side that started on Tuesday night. Now the decision to make is: do we keep it unchanged, or does Hall drop out, Eel Pender moves forward, and Robbo starts? I can't think of anything else I would change there. I would still go against George and say Dennis on the bench. What would you say?
yeah, I think it's difficult to change it after the 2 performances that we've had. And I think Pato, although Grant, like I said, dispossessed, put us under a bit of pressure, I think he does work quite hard in that role. I think more so than other 10s that we might have. So I think Pato likes that about him. I think he wants him to do well, and I think he believes in Grant, even if some of us don't. But yeah, I can't see it being changed. I would love the new signing to come in, but like I said, I don't know if it's too early. That's the only thing in my head, that if the new signing was, say, not a new signing, I know that's a bit ridiculous to say, but he'd been with us for a while or whatever, I think he would be starting rather than Grant, probably.
Yeah. Will Horton, Dennis could start. I think that's a dig at George from last week's show. I don't think that. I think you keep. I don't think you change it. The only thing that I think could possibly change is you see Hall drop out, Eel Pender drop forward, and Robertson come in here. But I think that would be a stupid thing to do, because Robbo played 30 minutes, maybe max. If you've got Palmer out for a long time, you don't drop Robbo straight in there. I don't think. I think that would be a bit reckless to do.
And it means that you've got more to play with later on in the game, I think, in terms of if you want to change it or anything. We could see him go 2 up top and start with 2 and then go back to 2 10s later in the game. So kind of go to win the game early and then see the game out and manage the game, which I think Fleetwood might not expect, and it might rock them a bit because they've conceded. I mean, they've lost quite a lot of games recently. So if you go at them from minute 1 with 2 up top, it might actually be really good. So you could have Dennis and Jatta both on the pitch to start, maybe.
I agree. One more thing I want to say, George, before we do our poll question and finish the show is, I'm optimistic, and here's why I'm optimistic. Here's why I'm feeling pretty good about things. I think we messed up in the January window. The summer window. I think we messed up in summer.
Yeah.
Barry Cotter, who looks like he's going out to Ireland. Al Joffrey's been recalled. Wasn't great. Yes, there have been some really good signings in there, but Roos was horrendous. You know, our success rate in that window was probably 50%. Eel Pender's been class. Dennis has been class. Who else? Norburn's now turned out to be good. About a month or 2 ago, we'd have probably been like, nah, he's been. But I think we messed up, and I think with Montague coming back, I think we've addressed it very quickly. Like, I thought this might take 2 windows to sort. Yeah,
I think some of the targets might have already been from Montague anyway. From the research that he did before he left, they could have already been on the radar, some of those players. Because we moved quite quickly for Dennis. I think that was probably radar signing. Looked at probably before Gagliardi came in. Norburn, I'm not too sure. Obviously, different type of profile. Ependa could have been on the radar as well because he fits the kind of bill. So I'm not sure how much was actually the good signings were in Gagliardi. I don't know if I'm being like a bit biased towards Montague or a bit nice there, but yeah, I just think it was awful. It's probably one of our worst windows since the brothers came in, I think.
But this is where my optimism comes from. I honestly think the owners have looked at it, and I think last January, I know we signed Traore and Jarvis, I think, but we were in a really good position. I don't think we went for it, right? I think the owners have looked at it this window and gone for it. In a January window, we've spent money for 2 players over 30. That's not a Notts thing to do at all, you know.
Yeah,
Unlove and Belshaw paying a fee mid-season for those 2 players, and then, you know, a loan fee for. I assume there might be a loan fee maybe for our new attacking midfielder with, you know, an option to buy. And I think we've gone for it. I actually do.
Yeah,
and is the squad stronger?
I agree.
1,000,000% is definitely stronger. Keeper's stronger position. Traore hasn't scored a goal in League Two. I don't even know if he scored a goal for Notts. Unlove has scored goals this season. So I think they've actually really gone for it. And we'll see if anyone else goes out. Let's not forget, in 2 months' time, we could have Jaden Luca back in this squad as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's the plan, isn't it? The plan is to have him back, hopefully, playing some games for us before the season is finished, which would be incredible as well. I think, like you said, they have gone for it. I think they saw what needed to be done. They haven't really tried to do it on the cheap or anything like that. It doesn't seem. I think they've realised we've got a really good chance here as long as we get the right pieces of the puzzle together, regardless of the model of like buying cheap or whatever and high potential. I think they thought, well, if we get out of League One, we can probably attract better potential anyway. So it's probably worth us just investing a little bit to get the players in to see us through, and then we can look at the model again in League One maybe.
Yeah, I agree. 141 votes on the poll question, 37 likes on the video. So if you vote on the poll question, drop us a like as well, please. We've got 173 likes on the last Pavis Perspective, which is one of the most we've had in a long time. So yeah, currently 37. I've just done a little prompt. Any more? Let's have a look. Still 37. So thank you for voting and liking. But anyway, 38 now. There we go. Poll question, Jord. With 19 games to go, where do you predict Notts to finish? Top get 8%. If you vote, I'm not voting top.
There's just a lot. It's so close that it'll be hard to predict that anyway. But
automatics 51%, playoffs 39%, and outside the playoffs 2%. Where do you fall in that?
So I'm going to go a bit rogue because of how close the top teams are, and I think I can look at maybe 5 teams that I think we're there or thereabouts with. I would say top 5 to be a bit more specific. I wouldn't just go playoffs. I'd say top 5. So I think that's a realistic chance of automatics. So it's kind of like splitting my vote between automatics and playoffs a little bit. But I think top 5 is where I see us finishing. I can't call the automatics because it's so close. It's going to be hard to call.
I mean, that's not an option, so you've ruined the poll question.
Well, neither was 8.75 or 7.75 on the player ratings on Tuesday.
Wrong, mate.
Well, I'm on the Pavis Perspective now, and I'm saying that we're finishing top 5.
Okay, fair enough. I would agree. I know exactly what you're saying. I'd agree with it. It's so difficult because you've just gone 3 straight wins, but you've gone 4 without a win before that. Have we got the consistency? Will Bromley hold on? I agree with Ben, who, if you just joined Fleetwood fan, been on the channel loads, says he thinks Walsall are in a false position. I think it's really difficult. Will said, can't split the vote, Joker. That's what he's called you. But there we go. And it's Callum says Jordan gets a 0.15 tonight for your rating. There you go.
Oh,
Can't be
dear,
doing
I'm
that.
not coming back on, no.
I'm going to go automatics.
Yeah, if you forced me to pick, I'd go automatics.
I do also agree that I think Cambridge could be right up there. I think MK are up there. The problem is, I think I could comfortably see Bromley, MK, Cambridge, Salford also getting automatics. So
That's
I think
why
it's
it's so
like
difficult, yeah.
a six horse race. Right, score prediction. Since you haven't been on for a while on the Pavis perspective, I'll let you do a score prediction. I'll let you go first. Don't do something silly like go against it and just say I'm only going to predict up to half time, because that's what you just did with the poll question.
All right, let's settle down a little bit now. I think we've got to be ruthless in the next 3 games, and I'm going 3-1 knots.
3-1 knots.
Yes, with Dennis, Jatta, and Norburn to get a goal, because I wish he got that nice. We haven't mentioned it much on the channel, but he did a nice little curled shot that just came off the underside of the bar against Crewe. It was lovely.
Yeah. We also have got Gillingham next Tuesday as well. I think we're due. I said it 2 weeks ago. I think we're due to smash someone. Like, we should have smashed Crewe.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds mad, but I think we can go win 4-0. I really, really do think we can go win 4-0. I think Nick Cerula, Jatta double, Conor Grant. That's no disrespect to Fleetwood, but I think we're in the groove at the minute. So
no disrespect, because you're saying that Conor Grant's going to score against him. Is that what you're getting at?
No, next week we come back and got 0 points from our 2 games. Imagine if Fleetwood beat us 4-0. Conor Grant, red card, no goal. Be a disaster of a show. Robert says 2-0 Knots. Callum says 6-0 Jones and Grant hat-tricks. Grezza says 1-0 Jones is due a goal. Gets another one like he did against Crawley. I'd take that. Interesting to see what Will's prediction will be if he's still watching or has turned off after what you've just done. 2-0 Knots, Jatta and Penda. You've been rated 0.75 there. We've got
0.75 out of 1. That's the scale, isn't it? So that's 10. Not too bad.
Out of 10.
No, out of 1.
No. Richard says 3-0 Knots. We've got a 2-0 Knots win. We've got Rachel, who's a channel member, says 3-0 Knots. I'd like that. Ian says 2-0 Jatta ×2 and Jody. Marcus says 1-0. Ewan says 1-0. Will says 4-0 Grant Norburn Jatta 2. Oh, Will knows football, and I know Will knows football. And I also predicted 4-0 Grant Jatta ×2 and Cerula. Gosh, can you imagine if that comes in? We've got 4-0 there, Jatta 2, Dennis 2. 2-2, 4 dodgy pens. 3-1 Knots, Bedu all 3. And I'll put the last one in there because I could keep going for ages. But 4-0 Unlove, don't know who that is. We've got Underlovu. So that's the only player I know. Macari, Dennis, and Jatta. Oh, goodness me. We're up to 57 likes. Could we get anywhere near 173 from last week? Could we do that? Who knows? Jordan, what a pleasure it's been to have you on.
Thank you very much for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Love you being on. We'll have you again in a few weeks, I'm sure. Maybe next month, maybe the month after. But appreciate everyone getting involved with the conversations. Always good to come on a Thursday, especially after 6 points in a week. Could we come back with 6 points again next week from Fleetwood and Gillingham? That'll be 12 points out of 12. Actually, it'll be 15 out of 15 if you count in the Crawley game as well, which would be absolutely incredible. If you're traveling to Fleetwood, I know I am. I'm looking forward to it. Then safe travels. Hopefully, we can bring the 3 points back. And we'll be back again next Thursday at same time for another episode of The Pavis Perspective. Keep an eye out after the match on Saturday and Tuesday for instant or pretty instant post-match videos, match reactions, and vlog. Thanks all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.